With Shell were cute when they were looking for planning permission, you see. They split up the project in 3 different sections. So they split it up, they left out the pipes, as I say, they didn't bother putting them into the planning permission. So really it was the same as somebody going building a house. And they looked for planning permission for the house, but they didn't bother looking for planning permission for the septic tank. Because they figured the neighbour or someone was going to object to it if he heard about the septic tank. So it was better to leave it out for the time being. Now then, this is where they tried to come in first, in my cousin's land here. You know, they came in from the shore, and without asking anybody or anything. You know, I was coming over the road one day and I seen 2 men in here with luminous jackets on. I just came down. When they seen me coming down, they went out again, and there was more of them in the neighbour's field there. And I asked them what were they doing in there, and I said, you have been trespassing. They said they had the permission. And I asked them from who. I said, you got no permission from the owner, I said, to come in here. And he said they didn't need it. You know, that the CAO was taken out on it, and that they could come in anywhere they wanted to. So I mean, that's when the trouble started.
Unfortunately, a lot of people don't understand what the compulsory acquisition order is. It was granted to a private company, which meant in a way that this was a precedent set, because now a compulsory acquisition order could be granted to any private company to do what they wanted in any part of Ireland. So this was a first. Not only is this a refinery being built inland with such a high pressured raw gas running up to it, but it's also a first for a private company gaining this acquisition over your land and over private property.
They put us to jail then in the end of June. They tried to come on the land and we stopped them again. And we were brought to the High Court and we finished up in jail.
Visits were very restrained, very hard to cope with. I have to say the prison warders were very good to us. You know, they treated us with great respect. And I think they knew underneath it all that the men were in there for a very good reason.
Myself and Jerry and Tony Gregory, Finian McGrath, Marion Harkin and Seamus Healy, together with Joe Higgins, took ourselves out to Cloverhill Prison to meet with the ordinary heroes, the Rossport Five. They were there to focus on the principle of making sure that the place they lived was a safe place to live.
You know, I'd say we weren't a week in there till they realised they had a big mistake made. We thought when we went in that it was us that had the mistake made. You know, we didn't know that the people were going to rally behind us like they did. I mean, they came out in their thousands. We don't want your pipeline here. It was the public that got us out of there, not Shell. Because the public rallied behind us after the first day. I mean, the pub that closed down the site after about 3 days, they had to, because the community wouldn't let them in there or let them do any work.
A relief, God, was unbelievable. But that was, you know, when we actually knew they were going to be freed. But all during that court that day, I mean, I had to leave the courtroom. I couldn't take it any longer because there was an if and a maybe and a might, and you had journalists all around you that day. The courtroom was full, and you had the journalists saying, he is going to release them. And the next you'd have another one say, no, he's not going to release them. And you had been brought all this way to Dublin, believing that, yeah, maybe they will be home with us tonight or freed this evening. And then you heard this going on, and it almost happened that they weren't freed. It looked like they were, for a long time during that court session, it looked like they were going back to Clover Hill.
I want to thank you all for coming here and supporting us, because we need support badly, because the government aren't looking after us, so we have to look after ourselves.
Well, for us here in the community, we're fighting the refinery being built here. I mean, that's the immediate problem here, and the danger of the pipeline. But overall, there's a bigger aspect to this. It's the robbery, the robbery of the natural resources that belonged to the Irish people. You know, every citizen of Ireland have actually been robbed.
It's more sadness than anything else to think that Shell can put a community, you know, put the guards against the community and put the community against the guards. I think that's the saddest part of the whole lot. The guards will tell you they have a job to do, but I don't call that a job. You know, they could call off that and have a meeting. We have asked them to meet with Shell or to meet with the government or something and to try and sort it out, and that we'd meet along with them. But they're not listening to us. The government don't want to meet, you see, because, you know, the dirt will come out then, or the questions will come out, and they cannot answer them. So that's what's wrong there. And they're just getting the guards to do their dirty work. I have spent the last 7 years trying to protect it and trying to keep what we have got. We haven't got a lot, but at least it's a way of life. And it was an old traditional life that I'd like to keep.